came home from the bridge club and found me laying here.
So last time when we talked about Dead Ant, I said we were doing a few more of these mindless, turn your brain off, if there is a message, it's so far down the list it doesn't matter kind of films. So here we are with 2012's 100 Bloody Acres from Australia. This was written and directed by Cameron and Colin Cairns, which is harder to say than it should be, and stars Damon Herriman, Angus Sampson, Anna McGann, Oliver Ackland and Jamie Christian, with also a disturbing turn from Chrissy Page as Aunt Nance. We'll get onto that, unfortunately. But this was one of those, again, that I just seemed to stumble upon. I thought, yeah, okay, sounds like a bit of fun. Let's give it a go. And I was just sat there for the whole pretty much 90 minutes, disturbed, unsettled, but mostly laughing my rear end off. This is a horror comedy, but it leans well into the funny. Everyone here does a great turn. I mean, this is such a compact cast. There's only about 2 other people that we see on screen apart from the 6 I named, which says a lot. You know, I think there is a lot to be said for a very concise, compact film compared to a massive ensemble piece. Both have their places, but this works so well for this, you know, having just these people. And especially getting someone of Angus Sampson's quiet menace capability, I suppose you could call it. Every moment on screen, I was kind of on edge, because for a lot of it, he's just very subdued, but then all of a sudden explodes. Like I say, it's like a quiet menace that just, boom, has moments of impact. And it's, you know, even though I say this is mostly funny, less horror, those moments really did get me going, and that's great. I do love it for that. It was such a good ride. But everyone here is great. Damon Herriman, never really seen before that I can say. Great turn as Reg, and it's just, you know, the whole cast is just doing what they can. Jamie Christian as Wes is the most annoying guy in the world. And yet you're still sort of, I was going to say rooting for him, but this is an Australian film. And if you don't know, rooting is said a couple of times in this film. And it's another way to say when 2 people love each other very much, so should we say. Yeah, rooting is the Australian word for that. So we are pulling for him, I think is what Australians say instead. But yeah, if you didn't know that before, now you do. And now whenever you go and cheer for your team, you're going to feel a little dirty. But this film did make me feel a little dirty. I did say we'd get on to Chrissy Page's turn. She does appear right at the start, at the sort of memorial for the Salvo 6, this group of 6 people who disappeared. We later find out they were fertiliser. And then we find out that, you know, she does have ties to the boys, and there's a great scene later where Reg is trying to get the keys and go, and we see, how do I put this delicately? We see Lindsay talking to a certain part of Nance's anatomy. There we go. That's the nicest way I can put that, the most delicate way. And it's just so wrong. It's so wrong, because this is meant to be their aunt. This was their caregiver for a while, as far as I understand it. She's in a picture with them younger, so she is like a mother to these kids, or to these men as they are now. And that was so wrong and disturbing. I didn't like that bit of the film. And I know it's there for that. It's meant to make you go, oh, it is meant to provoke that visceral reaction. But when she's getting out of the car early with the dog and just like, oh, we won't be that long, putting a lippy on, you're like, why are you putting a lippy on? I mean, some people do it, you know, even if they're going to see family, they like to make gussy up themselves, you know, make themselves look good, and it'll make them feel good, etc. But maybe this was because it was more than just, hi boys, how are you doing? But this is, like I say, not a great film. It's not an amazing piece of cinema, because it's part of my mindless fun reviews. But it does what it needs to. I sat there, again, rewatching it to note and sort of remember bits, as entertained as the first time. I mean, there was perhaps a few lull moments that I felt, but on reflection, if I pulled those moments out, I'd be missing parts of the film, if that makes sense. Everything in here services the plot, which everything in the film should do. But it still kind of felt a bit draggy, and I don't understand how that works. If everything there was in service of the plot, it shouldn't. but there were moments. Towards the end, I was like, okay, let's wrap this up. But one of the highlight moments, I think, for me was the tripping through fairyland. I think it's, again, the best way I can say that. You know, when Wes is just wandering through, he's taken the acid earlier, and he undoes his own good work. He knocks out Lindsay, and then he's just going and having a very brief entire relationship crammed into a small amount of time with Snow White, it seems, in this, you know, sort of fairyland exhibit thing. And of course, he's crept up on my Lynn's and taken back. But that whole piece, you know, just this guy just walking through this thing, just enacting all these little scenes, these vignettes, which probably took no more than like half an hour or something. But we're given this little story of what he did after he knocked him out because he was so high that he just forgot that he needed to escape. It's just a great moment. But like, that's everything in this film. It's weird little things that you just think, why is that in this film? But it works, and it like I say, it services the plot, and I enjoy it. That's the key thing. There's so many laugh out loud moments. The thing with the dog with the hand running off, you know, trying to like get that back, but of course it becomes a moot point when he's shot. But even at the end, you know, after Lindsay's been pushed into his work, shall we say, and they're trying to escape, there is an end credit stinger of Charlie Wick, the guy who's been chasing them for a fertilizer delivery throughout the film, just smacking into him, you know, just on his way to try and get his delivery sorted. Obviously, he's going to discover what the heck's gone on at the farm, but that's for the sequel that will probably never happen because it's 8 years down the line and there's been no sign of it. This was, you know, just pure entertainment, and that's all I needed from it. You know, that's what this is all about. So if you want something that's kind of a compact piece with some weird moments and some very typical Australian humour, you can't really go wrong with this. But next time we're going to talk about, I think, The Power of Friendship. I think that's next on the docket, so that's completely vague. I'm sure you'll have no idea, but we are continuing this run of mindless films for a while. That's a bit less mindless, but I think it fits. But we'll leave that until next time, so until then, as always, thank you for watching, and take care.